YouTube or in this meeting recording. Perfect. With that, I think we can get started. I am so excited for this event, like you guys don't even know. So let me introduce entry level. Entry level, hopefully you know about us already. I think I'm gonna get one of you guys to introduce entry level for me next time, but we basically help you learn and get experience in tech so that you can get hired and break into your first tech role. Like Ayomide here with product management, which you will learn about very soon. And I'm Jennifer. I'm the growth associate here at entry level. Maybe I've seen some of you at previous events. But yeah, that's it about me. Ayomide, do you want to introduce yourself?
Okay, so I'm Ayomide Akintade. I'm a product manager with 7-month experience now. Thank you.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I'm so excited to hear all about it. But first, before we get started, I want to learn a little bit more about our audience. So like maybe put in the chat, tell me what level of product management experience you have if you are a complete beginner, if you've taken a few courses, or if you also have internship experience already. Or if you're not even in product management and you're just here to see what the vibe is. So again, if you're a completely beginner to product management, if you are you've taken a few courses like entry level's product management course, or if you have done a few internships, just let me know in the chat like what level you're at, and then we can kind of better personalize the advice to you. Okay, I see we have Caleb here, completely a beginner. Brenda, also a beginner. That's okay. I think you're gonna learn so much here today. Oh, hey, Sabrina, beginner with a bit of experience from internship. Awesome. Okay, so Ayomide, maybe you can keep this in mind. We have a lot of beginners here. I'm sure you can relate. Like you were a complete beginner 7 months ago now, right? You didn't have any experience before? Oh, wow. Okay. Oops. Okay, let's get started. I think this is a good time to hear about Ayomide's story now. So tell us, like, how did you even get started? What was the beginning of your journey and like what made you choose product management?
Okay, so good evening, and anywhere you are across the world. So I'm greeting everybody generally. Good day to you guys. I'm Ayomide, as I said earlier. I'm a product manager. So how I started my journey, right? So in after my National Youth Service here in Nigeria, we used to go for service and all of that. I used to be a project manager. However, I was doing projects without knowing I was actually doing a project management role. You know, there are things we do that we don't actually give it a name, but we just do it based on passion. So in the course of organizing projects for a foundation, actually, which is a tech project for the organization to reach out to children in low-income community, one of our instructors reached out to me and was like, you would be a good product manager. I was like, how? What do they do? And it was like, you manage this team so well as though it is a product. But you just need to just look inward and do your SWOT analysis to see if that was really your strength. And lo and behold, I started to read more on product management, and I was introduced to entry level, and I started taking their course in August, which is entry level 1, the PM level 1. And I found out that everything I was taught in that course, right, I was doing it, but I wasn't just paying attention to it. Like I was doing it like probably a discussion with friends whenever they have things to do, we discuss that product, and I didn't know, I couldn't just give it a name. Like I didn't know there was something like prioritization, but I was like, okay, let's do this first. I suggest you put this thing first. So when entry level helped me, like it brought that thing I was doing, it brought it to a meaning. It gave it a meaning to me. And I realized that I could actually be a better person if I actually give what I was doing a title. So that was why I took the pain to finish the entry level 1, which was the icebreaker for me. So after that, after my program in September, I started to reach out to product owners on LinkedIn. So if you don't have, if you're not on social media probably Twitter, LinkedIn, please, I feel and I will encourage that you need to start to focus on that, be on the social space to have to get connected to people. So I started to reach out to product owners every day, telling them that I want to volunteer for their product growth and be part of that success. Reaching out to like 10 in a day. And I was always, I had no, there was nothing to put on my portfolio or my resume to say I have done this and that, but I was able to say, I want to volunteer, I want to learn, and I know I will be good working with you. So that was the assurance I gave them. And two reached out to me at a point. And Jennifer, if I'm running out of time, please just give me signal so that I can actually put a stop.
Okay, no, you're good. You're good.
All right. So I reached out to, like I said, I was sending messages. That is, I went to their private message, reaching out to them. Then two reached out to me. And at that point, I realized that I just needed to start with one, not two, so that I could focus and learn well. So I joined Vinode and I started to work on telnetting. I started in November, and I didn't let my entry level course, it's always opened on my tab. Leave my site. So anytime I'm stuck, right, I'll go back to that part and start to read up again, because that practical aspect, we're made to do projects, right? And it really helped me. The project helped me. So I'll go back to that part and start to pick it out. So I think in my third month, when we're doing like team evaluation, my team, the engineers I was working with, said I acted as though I was a full-time product manager, that they didn't believe I was an intern until the CEO told them that I was actually an intern, because I was actually eating the nails on the head. I know what my product owner wants. I could do research. So that was the, the beginning for me, knowing exactly what I wanted and how to grow in that space. Then I gave myself like this timeline that, after 3 months, I want to actually look for, I'll reach out to another set of organizations again to say, let me learn more. So after my third month, I didn't get it. My fourth month, I started to like reach out more, that I needed more experience. And due to the fact that I am working with one already, the other product owners could trust me based on what I have done based on what I am doing, because I still work there with the organization I work with. So with that, and the fact that management skills, which is very key, there was a time I put something on my LinkedIn account that there are 3 things I feel product managers should always have: leadership, self-awareness, and research. If you cannot handle these 3 well, then don't start your journey as a product manager. You need to work on these 3 first. So my managerial skills was something organizations really liked, that the product I've really worked with. I could manage engineers, I could manage designers, and I got my second job as a PM, transitioning from being an intern to being a product manager. A full-time product manager rather. And currently I work with 2 companies officially, and I have other products by the side that I help other organizations to build. And we are actually working on it. So it's by the side. So officially I work with 2 industries, Vinode and More Advice, and other products by the side. Thank you, Jennifer.
Oh my gosh, that is so cool. Oh my gosh, there's so much here. So to quickly recap, you were kind of already doing product management. You just didn't know until somebody kind of pointed out you would be very good at it. And then you started learning more about it after that, right?
Yeah, not officially, but when your guys, like I'm always grateful for my circle of influence. They are mostly tech guys, and they do things a lot. So whenever they are talking, I just shaping ideas. I think we should do it this way, But I didn't know that, I'm managing them indirectly or directly, or I am adding something to the product. So so that was how one of them reached out to me during the program to say, I feel you should just grow this part. And I've really been enjoying that part.
I feel like that's so important, because you need to surround yourself with other people who are kind of where you want to be. So like finding a tech community. That's why I told everyone to put the LinkedIn's in the chat, because just if you're a product of your environment, and it kind of sounds like you didn't know that you would want to be good at product management until someone pointed it out.
I didn't know there was something like product management. So that was when I started to pay attention to product management. Oh, really?
Wow, that is so cool. And the fact that they didn't believe you were an intern, wow, you must have really like wowed them.
Thank
Um,
you.
yeah, so what I'm hearing is you gave a timeline to yourself and you stuck to that timeline. You were very disciplined and you reached out to a lot of people to get to where you are now. So like, do you have any advice for like how you can reach out to people, especially on LinkedIn? Like, how can you say, hey, I want experience, can you help me?
Okay, yeah, so I get that question like a lot whenever I tell people that, oh, this is how I started. And they ask, how do they write that message? That a lot of people don't respond. Okay, so firstly, not everybody will respond to your message on LinkedIn, number one. But you just have to stay positive. So once you are entering their DM on LinkedIn, when you're messaging them, I'm sending a message to them on LinkedIn. So you have to be so precise. I didn't start with how are you because I don't want to know how they are feeling actually, but it's official, right? So I would advise that you don't start with hi, how are you doing? No, you don't start with those kinds of lines. It really can piss people off, right? So you just start with hi, I am this and this. I'm a newbie in product management, and I would like to volunteer with your organization with your organization on this particular product. Yes, I have zero experience, but I know that I can grow with your product to my next level. However, I would just Francis, find way. I would love to be part of your product success. Looking forward to learning with your product. But please point out volunteering first, because when you're entering this, there's person that probably you want to get one big money, you want them to pay you, and you don't have any experience. So the question is, can they trust you? Even if they are paying you like that big amount, can they trust you with that role of internship? But when you are saying, I would like to volunteer with your organization to grow my product management skills and be part of the organization's success, I'll be looking forward to hearing from you. Thank you. If you do that to 10 persons a day, be consistent with it, one person will reach out. That is what I know. So but just have to be so precise, be direct with your message. Don't just use words that can piss people off. Thank you.
Oh, yeah, I really like that because whenever people ask me, hi, how are you doing? I'm like, I don't know how to respond. So I like that you said being precise, but did you have to reach out to a lot of people? Like, I can't imagine many people said yes at first, right? Oh, wait, sorry, you're muted.
Okay, thank you. So I didn't know I actually had to mute myself. So please, the question again.
Yes, it was like, how many people did you have to reach out to get a response?
Okay, for my first one, I think, I don't know, how should I reaching out daily? Maybe let's say, okay, I think I remember doing 10, like others were just, okay, let me just do it. But I remember officially doing 10 in a day, in my day one, I know, but other days, I got response from the 10, I got response from 2 after the third day. So after the third day, I stopped sending message. So you have to look out for product owners that have products that you can work with, or products that is in line with the industry you want to work with. So, we have health, we have fintech, we have all of that. So you have to define the industry you want and start to reach out to product owners in that area. Yes, and just reach out. Be positive. If you send to 10, I sent to 10 in day 1, maybe 5 or 6 in day 2. Day 3, I can't remember because I got response in day 2, day 3 in the evening. Yeah. And for this, my second job, right? I have applied a lot. I'm still applying now because I'm already using 6 months. I need to switch and learn more. So I'm actually I've lost count of organizations I've applied to. Thank you.
That's amazing. I really admire your persistence. Do
Thank
you
you.
know what was it that made them say yes? Like, was it that they really needed somebody and you just happened to message them at the right time? Or was there a specific value add that you could bring for them?
Okay, so at that time, okay, for my first organization that gave me that platform to really grow these product management skills, at that time, the product owner was acting as the product manager. So I had to like keep close tab on him on LinkedIn, Victor Akintade. I kept close tab on him on LinkedIn, seeing what he was posting and all of that. So I knew there was a weakness in that organization. There's no product manager, but the product owner was really trying his best to fill that gap. So entering into that part to say, let me volunteer. That means I'm not expecting you to pay me a huge amount of money. Just let me volunteer. So I think that was why he reached out, because he needed, reading his story. And I saw that gap that I feel I could feel. Then that brought me in.
So do you have to like research them a little bit? Like the 10 people you sent messages to, you had to kind of narrow down industry and like what they needed?
Yes, I had to read what they were posting time to time. I read a lot about them, then their posts, to see that, oh, that is why the others that may not get back to me, that means they don't need that service at that time, and they were not ready to invest their time in training somebody because they don't need it at that time. So I think what really helped was reading what they post. I think then my boss used to post that he's ready to train, he's ready to allow people grow in his organization. He helps people carve a niche in his organization and all of that. And I thought, okay, let me reach out to this person. The other person too posted something similar, but however, maybe he doesn't have the strength to just start to train people. So read about people you are sending messages to. Don't send message to people that may not need your service. And funny enough, some of them may need your service, but they may not reach out at that time. Just keep doing it. Just keep sending. Soon, the opportunities, when I got to this space, right, I realized that the opportunities out there, but it's just that we don't have information about those opportunities. Like the other two products I'm working with that are not related to my two organizations, they actually need product managers. So when they reached out to me, okay, I'm in my learning phase, bring it aboard, let's do it, I want it to my portfolio. You get their learning opportunities, but it's just that we don't have enough access to that information. That is why we feel there might not be opportunities out there.
Wait, so are you saying that like a lot of the opportunities, like learning opportunities, volunteer, like even job positions, you kind of have to like ask for them because they won't be like publicly posted?
No, you have to ask. The job was not posted. My first job wasn't posted. It was in my, but there was no vacancy posted that they needed a product manager. Like I said, I had to read the post of my CEO then, what he was always talking about. Then I picked these keywords and I wanted to use it against him, that probably if you don't allow me, then what you're saying is not true. Because, but there was I didn't say it directly, right? But that was what came to my mind. You said you allow newbies to carve a niche in your organization, and I'm reaching out to you that, I want to volunteer based on this and that. I would like to add my own quota to the growth of the organization. Thank you. And going to view my profile. So whatever you are posting online to really have it has impact on whatever you are doing. So if you're saying you're on LinkedIn or Twitter and you are looking for product management opportunities, right? What are you posting on your LinkedIn wall? Those recruiters, they actually go to check your profile. So what you are posting, is it in line with what you want? So if it's not in line with what you want, they may not reach out to you. Now, you are posting that you need a product management opportunity, right? But you are writing something entirely on your wall. Where's the relationship? They may not reach out. But if you write something about product management, like, I learned prioritization on this note, I'm currently working on this, and I have prioritized based on this and that. Just keep posting something in line with what you want. They will reach out because it validates. Thank you.
Gosh, you are amazing. Okay, first let me recap like all the valuable things you said in case some people missed it. First, you did research on the people that you reached out to and the companies, the problems that they're solving. You read all their posts. you wanted to specifically target people who are ready to train and spend that time, because when you ask to volunteer, it still costs the company in terms of time,
Yeah.
and they're going to invest in you in training you, right? But then after that, they start trusting you more, and maybe it'll lead to a paid position. So that was interesting. The other very interesting thing you said was that a lot of things are not posted publicly. That is so true. I did not know how true it was until I started working, because like there's just, it's so much work that goes into hiring. Like you have to put up a job posting, you have to conduct interviews and stuff. A lot of times it's just easier to like, you know, use referrals or like use your network. Sometimes people don't even know they need to hire for a position, and then you step in and you have to ask for it and be involved. So that was something else. And then the last thing that I thought was interesting was you talking about posting things relevant on your LinkedIn. So when these people reach out to you and look at your profile, they're seeing all the cool things that you're learning about and how you can add value for them, and that you want the product management experience. Wow, that's
Exactly.
so good. Okay, so we actually do have a few more questions. You mentioned something about like tailoring everything to the industry you wanted to work in, like fintech. But like, how do you know what industry is best for you?
Okay. I really love that question, because I'm still asking myself that question actually, that what industry is best for me, right? So for me, what I did was, right, like I said, I have products. I started working with a VT, what's it called? A VT industry products. Then we are switching to fintech. Then like I've made documentations for my current organization based on different what's it called, industry. But I think now that based on where I am now, I'm not this health person. So if you ask me to come and be a product manager in the health sector, you still need to please give me time to learn. But I feel the industry I think I would really grow fast in is fintech. So back to your question, how will you know your industry? Okay, what interests you most? What, like, is it sports? So where you have interest, that field that interests you, because then that industry that you don't like me, I'm not really the sports person. So if you're saying, oh, let's build a gaming website, a gaming app, or let's build a sporting app or a betting app, I may not be that rush to person that you want to go and meet immediately, because you have to give me time. It is not what I like. But because you have given me that job, I have to do thorough research. But when you are giving me products in the fintech, I would just have to like grow so fast because I love it. So firstly, what is your interest like? What industry, or what do you always like to talk about? So now give that thing you like to talk about, give it an industry name. Like everything has an industry name: entertainment, sports, and all of that. Find an industry that does that and start to look out for product owners that have done things, that are doing things in that industry. Or personally, before you reach out to them, start to have a product, or start to think of products that you can develop solving a particular problem based on your research about that industry. Start to develop a product and start to come to LinkedIn, Twitter, and say, oh, there's a problem in this, and I am fixing this and that. I am working on this. They will rush you. They will come for you. So that's just, I feel that's the way you can actually know your industry. Thank you, Jennifer.
Wow, that's really good. I love what you said. I think one thing that you need to think about is first, like what you like. I think a lot of people like sports, so they created a product on sports. That could be something. And you said fintech was growing, so I feel like you also need to do a bit research on the market and the current trends, what's going to be more in demand. But does it depend on the location? Like, are your jobs remote or like in your country?
Okay, so presently, one of my organization, the first one is remote, the second one is in Lagos. The other products I work on are remote. Do you get? But I don't feel I'm ready to take an on-site job, like full time. Maybe because of the comfort, I just feel doing things at my pace, which I used to meet up with my CEO's deadline. I don't miss my deadline because, like I said earlier, if you cannot manage yourself, you cannot manage a team. So why are you a product manager? So currently, I'm not restricted based on location. I work remotely and I work on site. But the major thing is how to prioritize these things so none is affecting the other. And I've not gotten any complaints so far from my product owners that probably I'm not delivering it on time and all of that. So thank you, Jennifer.
Wow, that's really good, because I'm always telling product managers who say, oh, I don't have any experience. I'm like, you can product manage your life, your job search. Like, you needing experience itself is a problem that you can manage and turn into a product or a project, right? So that's a really good point. I think, like, I can already tell you're a good product manager because you know how to prioritize your life. Okay, so I have another question that people were wondering about. Did you have any IT skills before doing product management? Like 7 months ago when you first started?
Okay, IT skills. Do I have IT skills before or now?
Yes.
I didn't get that question, Jennifer.
Yeah, like, did you have any IT skills before you started your product management journey?
Okay, do I have IT skills? Oh, do I have? Maybe yes, maybe no, but I think I should have, because the ability to just grow so fast with my team, with the various tools that we're using, or sometimes like, have I used this before? So I think I had IT skills, but now if I don't, I really have IT skills now.
Okay. So I feel like something very interesting you keep mentioning is that you're always learning and growing. You're always saying, oh, I can learn more. I want to do this so that I can just like improve. So I think it doesn't matter if you have the skills before starting. What matters is like you could have those skills. You just need to learn fast and like keep learning. I love that.
And know how to connect with people, both online and physically. We always have this this approach to tell people about what you do. Voice yourself, like blow your trumpet. I am this, I can do this, and make sure that whatever you are saying you can do, you can actually do it, and you are open to learning. That is very important. Like, you have to keep growing. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah. This is something I hear from like every successful job seeker. Like, they always are learning. And I just think it's really interesting. Maybe that's what makes them successful. Now I'm kind of wondering, you said you're very good at prioritizing. So like, can you share a typical day in your life as a product manager? Like, what does your routine look like?
Okay. So my activity, I'll start from, as a product manager, I'll start using my first company as an example, right? You know, that is remote. You don't see your team, like now that I see my team. So let me come in from the remote part, then to the on-site part. So my daily tasks as a product manager, once I have my PRD as a guide, PRD is product requirements document as a guide. You know, there's something we call sprint planning, right? And retrospective. So the first thing we do is our stand-up. In my first organization, we do that by 9 a.m., right? We pick up our sprint again, where we stopped yesterday. We continue. You know, they know what's already due. So far, you guys are doing the agile mode of working. You don't need to now start to explain again. Everybody has an idea of what they are doing. So what I do is that, okay, I know their deadline, right? So as the engineers and designers, as my team are working, right, what I need to do as a product manager is to keep close tab on them. Are these guys actually doing these things? And my own duty now is to move on to the next feature. I don't need to that one feature. Is only when there's a problem. And I think so far, I don't know if I have any engineers here, but should I say, I need to like say something that would really give a blue on the engineers, right? You guys do give us tough time. I don't know why you guys do that, but you guys give us tough time. Like, you know, we need to come back to the table and say, why are you not doing this? Oh, there's a bug. Why is there a bug? You know, you can, you know, as coming in from a remote person, right? If you as a product manager, if your team are saying, oh, there's no electricity because here in Nigeria, we suffer that a lot. There's no, oh, maybe internet is bad. As a product manager, you should not come with that excuse, because once you have an excuse, engineers are ready to give you 4 excuses why they are not doing it. So you have to be on your toes to ensure that you don't have any excuse. So when they bring their excuse, you're ready to chest it out to say, oh, sorry, oh, I feel you can do this, that empathy, you need to like feel it. Oh, well, you feel this and this can be done, and you're helping them with it. So while they are sorting that, you are looking at the next feature and you're getting the user story to guide your team so that immediately that sprint, when immediately they are done with that sprint, you have a full knowledge of their next task, of the next sprint. You are not coming to the table to ask questions, how are we doing it? What can we do? Now, if you're asking that, you guys will wait for extra weeks before you get answer to those questions. But you as a product manager, you've been able to fill that gap to know how you are doing it, when, and why you should do it. So you are coming to the table in the next minute to say, oh, this is your next step, and this is how you feel you should do it. And his opinion, you guys share idea. Oh, that makes it so fast. So that is like, okay, the person says it's normal for engineers to give excuses. Sorry, the comment is really making me smile. So it is. So, okay, so that is my own day-to-day activity. Like then by 3 o'clock again, we are up for another meeting to discuss the success so far. If there's any roadblock, we are discussing it during the work. And by 3 p.m., we are back again to say, where are we? Then we continue from there the next day. Thank you, Jennifer. I hope I answered the question.
Yeah, I just made some very interesting observations. So first, you mentioned clarity on the roadmap. Like you need to know exactly what the next step is. You need to know what's coming up the next sprint. And then it also sounds like you're very firm with the engineers. You can empathize, but it's like, you're digging into the excuses. You're really finding out like why we're behind so that maybe you can prevent it in the future. And I think that's something that you apply to the job search too, because you said that you reached out to 10 people a day. You had a set timeline for yourself, for your learning. You have set goals. That's like you product managing your life, I feel like. And you're very firm with yourself. You're reaching out to 10 people every day. Maybe it's not always 10, but you're reaching out to someone. Like there's no excuses to just not do anything. And I love that. And I think that's what makes you successful as a product manager.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we had some questions about your portfolio. Like, can you share a little bit about how you came up with your portfolio? Like, are you comfortable sharing what it looks like as well?
Okay, so about my portfolio, right? So like I said, one of my products is on Play Store, so you can check telneting.com. So that's my major product that is live. Others are in pipeline to get. So, and that is why I'm really open to accepting products, because that makes my portfolio beautiful. When you're able to start a product, you are able to start a product from ideation phase to the launching phase. That is the beauty of product management. Quote me anywhere. That is the beauty of product management, from ideation phase to launching phase. So I think for Telneting, I was able to undo it from, okay, should I say I joined them in a part of the ideation phase, then to the launching phase is on Play Store, while others are in pipeline. And I'm ready. And that's why I'm not thinking of the stress right now. I just want to have these products in that launching phase so that my portfolio after my 1 year as a PM would be on point. So that's actually my plan. So that's why I'm open to, like 2 months ago, I was open to taking, when product owners share their ideas and they'll be like, oh, we don't really have money. Okay, so far it's scalable. Let's start. And I want to take it up to the launching phase so that my portfolio would be on point after my 1 year and I can land a very big job. Thank you.
Oh my gosh, I love that you like have this plan. It sounds like you have a whole roadmap for your career. Like you literally product management career. That's awesome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so if you could share your portfolio details with me after, just so I can make sure everybody who wants to know the link can have it.
Right.
I want to know a little bit more about, because you said you went from intern, like maybe volunteer to intern to now product manager, right? So you progressed through those roles super fast. Like did your responsibilities change at all? What were the differences?
Okay, did my responsibility change? So a bit it changed. Yes, and because when I joined my first organization as a volunteer, my boss really was at ease that a product manager is it's on board now. So he, after the first meeting that I knew what they were doing, the second one, he actually pushed me forward to handle the meeting. And I was like, how? What will I say? It was that I think that day was like my most confusing day at work because after day one, I joined them in the morning and it was remote now. Day two, Ayomide, you are the one handling the meeting today and you're handling the whole activities. Take your PRD, do this, do that. How? Like how? So I think that what's it called? That really gave me this challenge that I need to top up my game. And thank God for my tech lead. My tech lead saw the fear in me that day, and after the meeting, he asked for another meeting with me. Then he taught me some things that really helped me that day. And day three, I was ready to show up my face during the meeting to say, hi, what are you doing today? Where are you? After I've gotten that. So it was easy for me to really find my path because my product owner really gave me that platform to say, do your best without me. And that was why after the third month, the engineers thought that the engineers said that they thought I was a full-time product manager already until the boss now introduced me as an intern. They're like, wow, I was already doing a job of a product manager, and that really helped me. That helped me. So I would also encourage that if you want to have a solid what is the English for it? If you want to have a sound knowledge and a solid experience in product management, please start with a startup, no matter how little it can be. You would get that experience. I don't know, that is personal. So I may not say quote me anywhere, but I'm saying quote me from my experience. Please start with a startup. It will really help because the product owner is already thinking of what next and doesn't even have your time. So if the product fails, rather, you are failed as a product manager. So for the product not to fail, you have to actually upskill. So you have to keep getting better day by day. Do you get? So please start with startups so it will give you that knowledge that you need, that experience that you need, and you will be fine. Thank you.
That is so interesting. I think I agree, but some people are more, I don't know if everybody would like startups. I think most people here would because like you're here learning, you're hungry for growth. I feel like you would be well suited for startups. Like I love startups too. You just learn so much more because at a big company it's very focused. I feel like you don't get a wider view and as much experience. Plus it's easier to kind of break into startups and you're like messaging the CEO and founder and they're more likely to respond. So that's really interesting. And it kind of sounds like you were trusted and like pushed out of your comfort zone and like starting to lead right away. Do you think
After
that helped?
24 hours, like after 24 hours, my boss was like, handle the meeting. How? I don't know these guys. So that was, like I said, that was my most confusing day as a PM, most confusing day.
But if you can get through that, then you can get through anything. So
Exactly. So teams, I find it easy to relate with team, no matter if it's my first day at work. I know what to ask. Like we just get along because I've been put in that corner before.
interesting. What would you say is the most valuable thing that you've learned so far?
The most valuable thing I've learned so far is team management. I've learned it. Team management. Yeah. I've learned to work more with team. As a product manager, you can't do it alone. So you are working with marketing team. Remember, marketing team has a marketing lead. So you cannot come to marketing and say, oh, you want to decide for them. So you have to learn how to use the right words with the team leads. You're working with marketing team, the marketing team, your engineering team, designing team. If you have business analysts, which we don't in my first organization, you are working with them. So you're working with everybody that has something to do with the product. So it can be so tiring, but it really taught me. I really like that part of management. Yeah. Thank you.
So that is so true, because I feel like soft skills, I was expecting you to say something product management related, but you said team management, which is like a soft skill. You need to know how to work with people. But I think it's a very hard experience to get like through an online course. Like entry level, we have the cohorts on Discord. You can connect with people and talk to the teams and learn that way. But I think that's why, pitching yourself, volunteering can be so important. I'm not a huge fan of volunteering, but it sounds like it worked out well for you, where you got a job out of it after, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. So so easy to now play, to now work with team. See, if you cannot, like I said, if you cannot manage team, you cannot, that is where leadership comes in, because you have to know how to influence your team. When you're like, last week I posted something that how do you work with product owners that want you to build 12 flats on just half plots of land, and you have to come back to your team to say, this is what your product owner wants, and they're like, is that possible? We are not working, we are not doing this, it's not possible. You have not managed your team well, because your product owner has given you an instruction. So it is not left for you as a product manager to sit back to see how you can deal with your team, so that there is no quarrel between the team and the stakeholders.
Oh my gosh,
so team management is key.
That's so interesting, because I feel like our natural instinct as people, you would be like, oh, my team's not doing their work, they're giving excuses, it's their fault. But like, as a product manager, it's your job to take away all the excuses and like let them focus on the work.
Yeah.
Wow, that is amazing. Okay, and we have a comment here: team management skills are a must. That's true. Entry level course stresses that. And you must also know to say no to a feature or a deadline or difficult request. Saying no is so hard for me, but I think you would have no problem with it. Like, I already know you seem firm. You're like not ready to take excuses from engineers. You're calling them out.
Saying no, coming in from this saying no now, for product owners, you may not, like the current boss I work with, he may not want to hear no. Your product owners may not want to hear no. So how do you deal with that? So like, that is something I learned over a month now, how to work with product owners that can be difficult. They are not saying things from your side as a product manager that, oh, based on your experience, you feel this may not work now, you can do, and I say, no, I want you to do this. What will you do? Are you going to say no? You cannot say no. So the best thing is just take excuse. After the meeting, find your own time to deal with that feature and learn to break it down into chunks, and now learn to relate it with your team. So if your product owner is saying build a let me use something we can actually that we are familiar with. If your product owner is saying that you actually build a cup, when your strength can actually build a spoon, right? I'm using something we cannot relate with. Your product owner say build cup, and your team, your strength is building spoon, right? And your product owner is not ready to hear, no, you cannot build a cup because your strength can build a spoon. He's saying you need to build that cup, right? Oh, hala. Now let's start building spoon. Let's start from building spoon, and let's start building several spoons that will make up a cup. Do you get? So what you just need to do is to request for more time. If he's saying your deadline for this thing is like 2 weeks, sir, we'll start by this. So we'll build that cup. There's no argument. We'll build a cup for you. But because we need to now go through several processes to build 10 spoons for a cup now, so you would have to give us time. You have massaged his ego to say what he's thinking is actually right. Do you understand? You've massaged him, like you've massaged his thoughts and his ego to say, oh, sir, you're always correct. Your idea is valid. But deep down, it's not valid, right? But when you start to build this spoon and he's saying, this thing is taking too much time, can I wait? You would actually come back and tweak it. Thank you.
Wow, that's stakeholder management. That's another. I really get what you mean about managing team and managing people. Because first of all, massaging the ego is so true. I like what you said about giving more time, because sometimes at work, people will give you a lot of things to do. And it's like, you don't want to say no, but it's like, you don't have time to do it. So you have to like kind of reframe it and say like, okay, that means I will need more time to spend on this. Like, would you like me to prioritize this project or that project? So that's a very good insight. So I have a few other questions here. I think this might be my like last few questions. So someone here is asking about the entry-level course. I'm currently taking product management level 1 and putting the portfolio together. Is that good enough to start applying for internships or PM jobs, or would you recommend product management level 2?
I got my job with product management level 1. So I say well done to product entry level rather for that course. Level 1 is a good way to start your course, provided you are ready to follow the steps, most especially the research. Because as an intern or volunteer, you are doing more of competitors research. You are coming to tell your product owner that, oh, you find out that this product is better than your product because they do this and they do that and yours is not doing. What can you do? Blah, blah, blah. You are bringing good suggestions to the table. So I think product management entry level 1 is a very, very good way to start your journey in product management. So I enrolled for level 2 when I got my second job. Right. And that's why I was telling Jennifer that you people showed me pepper because I didn't really have that time to do my projects. And you guys are so strict, and I like you. I like you for that, right? I like you for that. I was so busy and I have deadline, but I actually knew everything in that course because I started to implement the level 2 into my day-to-day activity. However, the level 1 got me my job and it helped me for months and it's still helping me. So for the products I'm currently working on, I had to go back to my entry level 1. I opened the module to see that I am not skipping any step, right? Before I move to level 2, which level, that means level 1 is good for you to start your journey as a product manager. Thank you.
Yeah, that's such a good point because I feel like people feel like they always need to learn more, then that's good, but then you need to also take action. You don't like stop yourself. Yeah, I feel like your story about being pushed past your comfort zone, how you had to do that meeting, that super confusing meeting, like I feel like you guys need to start before you're ready because you're never going to feel ready. You just need to push yourself. And it just takes one person to say yes to completely change your life. So just try your best and you never know. Okay, maybe I'll ask this one last question because I feel like a lot of people here are not super confident. You think you're a complete beginner, but trust me, you know a lot more than you think. Like you have years of life experience. And Ayomide, I think earlier you mentioned you were doing product management work already, you just didn't know it, right? So like this question, do you have any prior knowledge before the entry-level PM level 1 course? Like, do you feel like you had that knowledge before?
Like I said, I was doing projects. I was managing projects for a foundation, right? So I was working with team. It was a waterfall system. You know, unlike somebody asked a question that was the difference between products and projects. Project is one-off, you do it one-off. Product is continuous. You have to keep your eyes on the product to ensure that it's going fine, right? So I was in projects with the foundation, but doing that tech project actually opened my eyes to say, oh, so far you have been managing projects like this continuously. You can actually be a product manager. So that was how I got to know about product management.
Okay.
So do you get? So it's not, I can't say I have like a full knowledge about product management before I started. I don't know. Do I? Maybe the documentation part, yes, because we do documentation in project management. So for the documentation part, a bit, but not 100%. The document you prepare for products is quite different from projects. So I can say a bit, but not like full time. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, I think that's a very good insight. I used to get confused too, because sometimes as a product manager, you still have to manage different projects, but you're always continuous. And then like companies hire project managers for one thing, and when the project is completed, it's like done. So that's a very good explanation. Thank you so much. I believe that brings us to the end, but Ayomide, is it okay if I link your LinkedIn so people can connect with you if they have more questions?
That's fine. That's fine. I'm open to connecting. We are still growing. Like I said, this is my 7 months, right? So I'm still growing and open to connecting and learning more. Thank you.
Perfect. Make sure to leave a note on your LinkedIn connection request. So there's some context to where you found Ayomide. It would be so nice if you could include the most insightful thing you learned today, like how her story inspired you. I saw some comments. I don't know if you saw that, Ayomide, but you got some really good comments. Everybody was saying you were so inspiring, you were so put together and just amazing. And I totally agree. Yeah, so I think that's all for today. Make sure to connect with Ayomide. I will drop my LinkedIn as well, but please leave a connection notes because otherwise I won't know who you are. Oh my gosh, somebody said your vibe is so amazing. That's so true. I really appreciate your time and I hope everybody here learned something cool. Thanks so much for spending your evening or morning or whatever time it is with us. I appreciate it. Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye, Jennifer. Do enjoy the rest of it.